Welcome back to The Takeout. Thank you very much for sticking with us. Colombia's president has responded to President Trump's threatening rhetoric that he could, meaning Colombia's president, be the next target in this administration's very aggressive effort to interdict drug trafficking. President Gustavo Petro is not really quite sure of the translations of the president's recent statements, but he's called on his people to defend him against, quote, any illegitimate violent act. CBS News correspondent Lilia Luciano is in Colombia and joins me now. Lilia, it's great to have you with us. Tell us where you are, what the atmosphere is around you, and what the conversation is about the future of Venezuela and Colombia as it regards the extraction of Nicolás Maduro.
Well, Major, we are precisely at the point where the fates of Colombia and Venezuela converge. We have been here all day seeing people go in and come out of Venezuela. Things are business as usual here, except for the many colleagues who cannot get into Venezuela to report. And like us, this time the government of Venezuela did not allow me, or has not allowed me, to go in yet, as they did during the last election. So we're all kind of stranded here covering both countries. The reason why is because it's a very dynamic border. Whatever happens, if Venezuela collapses, if there were another strike from the United States, if there is a fracture in the power structures there, if people rise against the armed forces or vice versa, all of that will be felt here in terms of violence and mass migration, which has been the case in the past. When it comes to the fate of Venezuela, it seems like everybody's signaling to their bases calm and patience. We're hearing that from the opposition, despite President Trump not supporting Maria Corina Machado vocally over the weekend when he was asked, the leader of the opposition, to transition into a democracy soon. She, in her messaging, and her allies have been saying, we trust that that transition will come, and we thank the United States for the strike. When it comes to Venezuela and the people in power, who are all figures of the regime, important figures of the regime, some of them still with very expensive bounties on their head, and they're still running the country. Today, the new interim president, who was the vice president of Maduro, Delcy Rodriguez, was sworn in as interim president. She and all of those figures are also sending messages to the people of let's keep calm. And then, importantly, I have been getting messages from people in Caracas and other parts of Venezuela who tell me that you can call them paramilitary groups, but these Maduro loyalist gangs that tend to oppress people, that tend to surveil, that take part in the arrests. Masked agents, armed agents, are situated in different checkpoints, checking people's phones, they tell me, to make sure that you haven't expressed support for the capture of Maduro. You talked about Petro in Colombia. They kept me up last night, people from the administration, asking me, how do we interpret this? What is Trump trying to say? It could be one of two things. It could be Trump is talking about taking him out in a similar way, even though Colombia is a democracy and Petro has no indictment against him. Or it could just mean there's an election happening in Colombia soon. So Trump could just be saying he's not going to be in power for much longer because he's not running for president again, because he can't. There's going to be another president in just a few months.
Very good. Lilia Luciano, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.